I'll call to order today's Fishers Plan Unit Development Committee meeting for April 10th, 2024. We do have a quorum here. It looks like all of us are here today.
It's
And
impressive.
it is impressive. We have one agenda item, case number PUD-24-1, Abbott Commons PUD, additional home elevations. It's a consideration of additional home elevations within the Abbott Commons PUD, generally located north of East 136th Street and west of Cynthian Road. And it looks like we have Ross Hillary for the staff. Thanks, Ross.
Thank you, Howard. For the record, Ross Hillary, Director of Planning and Zoning for the City of Fishers. As you mentioned, PUD 24-1, which is Abbott Commons. Location for this property, it's currently zoned Abbott Commons PUD, which is Ordinance 032122B, which was approved by City Council back in April of 2022. It's totaling just under 80 acres, and development is bound by I-69, as you can see here, in East 136th Street. Part of that PUD, we do include a concept plan. The concept plan is divided up into 4 distinct districts, Area A, B, C, and D, each with their own development standards. Area A, which we're talking about tonight, includes single-family detached homes with alleys. Area B and C are single-family detached homes with front-loaded garages, and Area D is single-family attached townhomes. Before you tonight, Lennar is requesting approval of additional home models in Area A, shown here in yellow. In April of 2022, the PUD Committee approved the following 5 models, each with 3 elevations. The Chartwell, Dorset, Halstead, Milford, and Pennington, as you can see here, which were also included in your packet for reference. The elevations that they are requesting tonight include the Lincoln, Model A, B, and C. All home elevations have a material composition of cement board siding, board and batten or shake, and masonry. Here you can see the elevation for Springfield A, B, and C, as well as the elevations for the Harrison A, B, and C. So here are all the home elevations side by side, just for reference. All the Lincoln home elevations include a porch and have at least 2 roof modulations. The Springfield elevation B and C have at least 2 roof line modulations. Staff does recommend elevation A needs to be have at least 1 additional roof modulation or be removed. And in the Harrison in that last row, elevation B has 2 roof modulations with the primary gable facing the street. The elevation A has a single gable. Staff recommended additional roof modulations or it be removed. And then elevation C does have 2 gables, but the front felt flat compared to the other elevations. The staff recommended elevation C to be removed as well. Staff came to these conclusions by reviewing the 9 elevations previously approved versus these, Staff came to these conclusions comparing these 3 models versus the 9 elevations that were previously approved, totaling 15 elevations in total, all which felt to have proper roof modulation, front porches, and a good sample of materials. So with that, staff does recommend approval with the proposed elevations as presented with the following conditions. All the Lincoln elevations, Springfield removing elevation A, and the Harrison removing elevation A and C. Tony Bagato is here to represent Lennar, and so he's going to go through these elevations as well if you have any questions.
Thanks, Ross. We'll hear from Tony.
Good evening. Tony Bagato for Lennar Homes, 11555 North Meridian Street, Suite 400 in Carmel. Good to see everyone tonight, and I really appreciate staff's time, and I have to compliment on the staff report. It's very, very thorough, and I thought easy to read. Working on this side, you see some bad staff reports nowadays, so I appreciate a good one. As Ross said, we're just adding new homes to this plan. When we came through this project initially, these plans were in development. They weren't initially ready because we did want to include them at the time. So they have been now. We're looking to add them now that we're getting close to starting construction in Area A. As Ross said, we went through the staff report. Only thing I would add, the 2 A's with the single gables. I think our only concern is if we start adding another gable or undulation, they start to look too similar. That's my only concern. We want some streetscape diversity. But if, the PUD committee wants to remove them, I think that's fine as well. We think we have enough plans to make sure the community looks well, and there's not a ton of lots on that area A. And the only thing I was gonna say is this one on area C, I think there's a little bit of a, maybe misreading in the elevation. Since there's two gables with a lower hip behind it, I think it looks flat. But all those homes have the same depth of a 6-foot recessed area for a porch. So it is actually the same amount between that window and the front of the porch as you see on the other two homes. So understanding that A only has one gable, that they're not recommending approval. But if B is okay, I would think C would be fine. I think it's just the way the rendering reads, in my opinion. And then basically on that, have any questions?
Thanks, Tony.
Yep, can you go back to the other previous slide with the ones we're looking at? Back one more, there you go, right there. So I think if you look at Springfield A, I'm not disagreeing with any of the staff recommendations, and I know there's cost to it, Tony, but if you're to put dormers on those two front windows up top, that'd give you the articulation that you could do there. I think that would look pretty cool, quite frankly. I like a dormer idea there. And then if we move back to the other one, where that one was at, I think, I don't mind so much Harrison C. I don't know where that goes into. What does that window on the right side that I'm looking at go into? What room is that? Do you know? It's not the garage, is it?
Looks like
No,
it'd be the kitchen.
no, these
Yeah.
are alley loaded, so it's, I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
so it's
kitchen
not
or-
a garage. So I mean, I don't mind that one so much. I could go either way on that one, but a bay window there would be pretty cool too. So, to give you additional articulation coming out to make it not so flat in the front. I don't know, Ross, if you like either one of those two ideas, but,
So per their provided site plan for the interior of the house, that is a bedroom that's in that front.
I'd like a bay window in my
Yeah.
bedroom.
I'm
So-
amenable to either one of those.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to find out, because we're looking for articulation,
Yeah.
or artistic, or architectural. you know.
How deep is that front overhang? Because it looks like you've got the same kind of column condition on all three of those,
Mhm.
right? So how deep is that overhang where the columns are? It's
when I
not
checked,
like
I-
it's a porch, it's more just kind of porch-ish.
Yeah, last when I checked, and Ross, maybe double check, I thought it was 6 feet from the overhang to the front window facade.
Okay, so that actually is pretty deep. It's a lot deeper than it looks in the
Looks like it
rendering,
does,
yeah.
I would've
Yeah,
done
no,
it
that's why I
6
called it this one a porch area, because you can sit in there at 6 feet, we thought. it'd be-
Yeah.
feet. Okay,
I'm okay with C,
yeah.
based on that understanding that there is that articulation and that overhang. And, yeah, A, I think that, I was gonna say you could maybe change that hip to a gable, but then it would be the B. So forget that idea. Yeah, so so all of these are going in section A, is that right?
Yeah, only area A. 'cause-
Okay, area A. So is this the only one story within area A then, in your plans, or because I don't remember there,
Yeah, I
being a
think because
one-story and the
all the
other-
approved ones are either 1 story with a loft or they're 2 story.
If you look at the staff report, Sean, on the 3rd page,
Oh, there's
it's the
one,
Heritage Collection, the Chartwell. I think that's single story.
oh, okay,
yeah,
yep, I
there's
see it.
one, this one
I just
here.
wanted to make sure that we weren't like
Yeah.
completely limiting one stories to only 2.
Right.
And
Right.
nobody else could have one,
Right.
because that really starts to limit what people can do.
Sure.
But if there's other one-story options, if someone wants a one-story, then I think that,
Yeah,
that-
there's one story there.
okay,
And we have a lot of different stone and color packages too.
yeah, so that helps differentiate as well. Okay.
I'm struggling with, the approved elevations from before have a lot of character, have a lot of detail. And almost all of these feel like a watered down version of that. And so my concern is, especially with it being up against 69, and again, we spent a lot of time with Corby and with you guys on those elevations, by allowing, are these significantly less expensive elevations?
Not significantly, but they'll be less. They'll be in the 400 range, where I think the other ones fall within the 5s or high 4s.
Welcome to today's building costs.
Oh, I know, but I think, like, you don't wanna, it's been that balancing act of a neighborhood up against the interstate. And if you're lessening the quality and the appearance of it, are we setting ourselves up for a Brooks Chase off of Brook School Road?
No, we're not. Not with those elevations.
But look at the pre-approved ones.
Yep.
Can I, okay, so a question to add to that is the siding material is
Hardy.
the hardy plank. Okay, is it gonna be a thin, like it, that looks like a vinyl, or is it?
Well, I mean, it depends. Some of them have the siding is either horizontal or vertical or be board and batten, but all the material other than the brick wainscot is a hardy. It's just
And
different.
hardy doesn't really change its thickness, right?
No,
Like
no, right,
it's
it's
the
the same.
same.
Correct.
No matter what, it does look a little vinyl-esque in some of these pictures, so I get where you're going with that.
Sure.
I do believe the siding changes the aesthetics significantly from a vinyl to a hardy. And I do believe these pictures show that.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
yes,
there's
yes.
a significant, I guess there's way more masonry on the front
Yeah, I
of
was
the
gonna
ones
say, it looks
that,
like there's more masonry in the previously
Approved.
approved
Okay.
ones.
and so maybe it's not
percentage-wise.
Brooks Chase, but these remind me of Heritage Meadows, which are going for a whole lot of money now, and
It's a lot,
you used to live in Fisher's Point, so like I know the value of those, but,
I get what you're saying.
it just feels, if you're presenting people with the options of living in a great neighborhood in Fishers, in a brand new home, and you've got $500,000 or $400,000, I fear that we get more of this and less of what was approved originally.
That people will gravitate towards the less expensive model, and so you won't get any of the
Yeah.
previously approved ones, or less of the previously approved
Yeah.
ones.
And there is monotony rules there.
But it's like three houses?
It's typically 5 across, cannot be the same, and then 2 on each side. Unless there was a special one for Abbott Commons, which I doubt.
No, it shouldn't be.
Tony, do you know the total amount of lots in Area A by chance?
No.
Not off the top of my head.
Right?
It's definitely a smaller area. Only Area C I think is smaller, but
All right, so let's go back to this big picture. No, ooh, yeah, actually.
I think
So
about
okay.
60.
50.
If you
Yeah,
counted,
this
right?
is perfect.
It's kinda hard to
That's
see.
what I was thinking. So, Area A is what we're discussing, and it is actually the furthest away from
69,
I-69, correct?
Yeah, it's what you'll see from 131st Street.
yeah, which is why we did alley loaded, because it's what you're gonna see from 136.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the challenge, Megan kinda, mentioned is the location, the freeway, right? It's, that price point at the higher one is gonna be a challenge. And again, like I said, these were in production at the time, so we, just going through the rezone process, we didn't have the ability to show these. We're looking at another site here in Fishers where we are gonna use both of these as well. We're gonna make the heritage, the other ones, more prominent. And so that's a struggle too, is that we don't want too much of the same look from a streetscape appeal when you have different communities in Fishers with the same builder. And so we think the other one will be more successful for those homes and from a cost perspective.
And what's going in Area B? Those are all front-loaded?
Correct, yeah, they're front loaded.
And what's the price point on those?
I mean, all these are in the low fours,
So
starting it up.
same price point,
Bless
just
you.
front-loaded versus rear-loaded?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the
But
alley
what's-
will probably go more of the mid to high fours because of they're being alley loaded, but, I mean, all these homes, other than the townhomes, nothing's gonna be probably under 300,000 today with interest rates and everything. The townhomes will be around the 350s to 380s.
Tony, same comparable number of homes in Area B compared to Area A?
There's more in area
Looks like
B.
there's more in B.
I mean, if area A is what's going first, I also fear if this happens in area B, if due to cost-cutting measures, like how this trickles down and throughout the rest of the site.
No, area B and C plans are already approved, so we're not changing those. As far as
Okay.
I know, to be fair, sales is the one drops these changes on me sometimes. Right before we start construction, they're like, oh, we need to get these approved. I'm like, thanks. But as far as I know, the area A was the only ones we were looking at adding new plans to, not B or C. And the townhomes D is staying the same as well.
Thank you. Other questions, comments?
You have a motion, Megan?
I'm not gonna make it.
I will make a motion to approve
With the staff recommendations?
with the staff recommendations of the removal of the ones that,
The C on,
Yeah, I wouldn't want
I was gonna
C
say, all
removed, the
right,
Harrison
hold on,
C
let's go
removed.
back. All right, so we've got which ones are the,
so we would remove Springfield A and remove Harrison A, and the rest could be approved. If you guys are fine with Harrison C.
It's- Sean, you're saying?
yes, I would
Maintain
make a
C.
motion.
I would keep C.
I would keep C. Yeah, I'm the same way, sorry.
To
I think the staff recommendations with
approve-
the exception of Harrison C.
Yeah, yes.
What he said.
I would make a motion to approve as presented, excluding Springfield A and Harrison A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Kay, roll call, please.
Ms. Baumgartner,
No.
Mr. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Ms. Bowman,
Yes.
and Mr. Stevenson.
Yes. The motion does carry. That is the only agenda item. Ross, do we have any staff communications this evening?
No staff communications.
Okay.
Motion adjourned.
Have a second? We are
Second.
adjourned. Thank you.